Hello dear Spit Bucketeers. It is great to be back. It's been a long time between drinks, but I'm here with a couple of top bottles to share with you this evening as the sun sets over the beautiful Sydney skyline here on Spitbucket Central. Tonight, special subject close to my heart, and that is Henschke. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, it's one of Australia's most prestigious, historic and well-respected winemaking families. They've been making wine in the Eden Valley for 5 generations and have been turning out fantastic table wines ever since the 1950s. And we're looking at a Riesling and a red blend this evening. And I have to just admit a little bit of my own interest here, and I do work extensively with the Henschkes, so probably won't score them, but I just wanted to show you a couple of great wines. Now we've got a 1995 Eden Valley Riesling called the Julius. Now this is their top of the range Riesling, and I don't know if you can see the color. It's a really like golden toasty color. So 17 years old now, and just got that fantastic development that you expect with a really top class aged Riesling. So we're thinking about toast, lime, bit of marmalade character, just really lovely and toasty. I wonder if the palate's going to have that same sort of character. Yeah, you're getting that toast, a little bit of honey, lots of lemon, lots of lime. And the really surprising thing about this wine is the amazingly fresh acidity on the finish. So it's like a waterfall of juicy lemon and lime acid on the finish. And for a 17-year-old wine, you've got to say that's got plenty of life ahead of it. So, you know, we've banged on about Riesling a lot on these shows before, but there's no doubt that aged Riesling in Australia can be tops. So have a look out for any older vintages of Henschke Julius you can see. Moving on, we've got the reds. So this is actually a pretty auspicious year for Henschke. It's the 50th vintage of Hill of Grace, which is one of Australia's most well-known red wines. That's a Shiraz from a vineyard that was first planted in 1860, if you can imagine that. It's 152 years old, and that is actually older than Spitbucket Sweek, and in fact anyone else I know. And we don't have any Hill of Grace today, sadly, but we do have a bottle of 2005 Keyneton Estate Euphonium, which is a blend, interesting blend of Shiraz, Cabernet, Merlot, and Cabernet Franc. So quite an unusual blend. 2005 was a very strong vintage in Eden Valley. Stephen Henschke was very happy about this vintage, so we'll have a little smell. Oh, and that just really intense, bolts out of the glass. Kind of Cassis, blackcurrant, and one thing I find with a lot of Henschke reds is some really kind of bright Asian sort of spices there as well, which give it really quite an exotic feel. Quite a big boned, concentrated wine there. It's only 7 years old, so it's yet to really soften. It's still got a lot of that primary black fruit. I'm definitely seeing a bit of that spice, a little bit of pepper from the cooler climate Eden Valley region. And the tannins are still quite robust. So this is a very young wine, a long way to go. But another one to look out for, you'll find Henschke wines around and about, some of them going back definitely into the 90s and before that. But really nice to see a red that isn't in its first flush of youth, it's just starting to show a little bit of leathery development around the sides, but generally lots of primary fruit. So that's just a couple of great back vintage Henschke wines for you in a nutshell. I was there doing only a very little bit of winemaking, I have to say myself, a few weeks ago, digging out some tanks, pressing some ferments, and generally trying to look busy, but actually tasting a lot of fantastic older wines like these. So yeah, what can I say? It's a real pleasure to taste some wines like this. So I'll say cheers, I'll leave you to it. And this has been Spitbucket, where we spit so you don't have to.